He's got a load of names: Santa Claus, Papa Noel, Kris Kringle, Saint Nick, Sinterklaas, Yola Mondin, Baba Natali, and a whole host more, but let's talk Santa and where he comes from. And yes, I know he's from the North Pole. Okay, so first off, Santa is one of 3 December gift givers, and there are variations of each, but they're basically split into 3 because they're celebrated on different days. Sinterklaas and his variations visit the night of December 5th, or St. Nicholas Eve. Santa comes on the night of the 24th, Christmas Eve, and Ded Moroz, the Russian, Slavic, Mongolian version who visits on New Year's Eve. Santa is a conglomeration of several characters: the actual St. Nicholas, who lived from 270 to 343 in present-day Turkey, who is the patron saint of course, children, but also sailors, merchants, archers, repentant thieves, prostitutes, brewers, pawnbrokers, unmarried people, and students. He was known for his penchant of secret gift giving, though a lot of what we probably know about him are made up stories. One in particular about resurrecting 3 children after a butcher killed and pickled them, intending to pass them off as pork, comes to mind. Yeah. Then we have the Finnish Juhlapukki, which is believed to be the oldest version of Santa Claus. It means Yule goat, Yule referring to the pagan winter festival, and goat because he may or may not have been a goat man. In some areas, people went door to door in goat masks. Some places still do it today, and it could possibly be seen as an early version of wassailing, and if you squint and turn your head just right, mumming and trick-or-treating. By the way, Halloween 3 is the best film in the franchise, and if you think differently, Squirrely Santa says bring it on. He did drive a sleigh pulled by 8 reindeer. They couldn't fly, but still pretty close. It's widely believed that Santa is more or less a combination of St. Nicholas and Juhlapukki. The other more modern parts of Santa come from 2 sources. First, the 1823 poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, better known as The Night Before Christmas, which has been attributed to Clement Moore, and second, the drawings of Thomas Nast. These basically created our modern image of Santa, and yeah, sadly, Coca-Cola in the 30s also had a lot to do with his current image. Yes, there is the other side of the Yuletide coin. Krampus is probably the best known at this point. We're pretty sure he's Alpine in origin, and these are all versions of him depending on the region, collectively referred to as the companions of St. Nicholas, which is not to be confused with someone like Zwarte Piet. Pretty sure I've talked about him before, who's considered a servant rather than a companion, and he's supposed to be a Moor, not to be confused with a s'more. But he does sometimes carry a birch rod to beat bad children with. The whole idea was to scare kids into acting right by threatening them with possible supernatural violence, kind of like how the Banshee probably originated as a way to keep kids in their bed while mom and dad had their fun. A wailing, moaning woman in the middle of the night? Yeah. And it should be added that versions of Krampus vary quite a bit depending on the time and region. Sometimes he traveled alone, sometimes he gave presents to good children, you know, fruit and nuts and stuff like that, but mostly. And, you know, we've got more modern versions of him as well with the Grinch and SCP-4666 for you Foundation folk. The St. Nicholas companion when it comes to Santa is the elves, who make his toys, possibly fly with rocket packs if Disney's to be believed, and are often seen accompanying Santa at appearances like malls and parades. And the elves aren't forced to dress up in blackface because, well, yikes. One last thing here, I'm not entirely convinced that Santa Claus and the Jolly Green Giant aren't one and the same. I mean, they're both jolly, they both say ho ho ho. I've never seen both of them at the same place at the same time. I'm just saying, you never know.